Oh, the Big 12's in a really tough college football playoff spot. Before the rankings even come out tomorrow night, BYU, Colorado, Arizona State. I'm going to talk specifically about BYU later and their opportunity to still make the college football playoff and how we shouldn't freak out entirely. For Colorado, they look really good. They also have 2 losses. For Arizona State, they look really good. They also have 2 losses. And guess who doesn't? Boise State. Guess who doesn't? Army. There is an ultimate Mayday, terrible, burn the entire thing down scenario that is kind of possible now. Earlier this season, I believe it was Brock Osweiler, who I called an absolute idiot, said, the Big 12 doesn't have to make the playoff whatsoever. And I thought, that's weird, because I type it in, that's Power 4 conferences get a bye, you idiot. Turns out that's not what the verbiage says. Top 4 highest ranked conference champions get a bye. And that 5th spot is for the 5th highest ranked conference champion. Why is that the case? So that in typical years, the Power 4 will get 4 teams bye weeks. Then the 5th ranked conference champion from the AAC or the Mountain West will fill that probably 12 spot. We're going to give the group of 5 a little nudge. But on a year like this, where it's been utter and total chaos, Boise State exists. Army exists. And while those teams are kind of low on the rankings right now, I mean, Army at least is low on the rankings right now, they are a group of 5 schools. Washington State's in this category too. That if the Big 12 has a 2 or 3 loss team that wins the league, we might see, this is, buckle up, listen, not good. We might see Boise State take that 4 spot and a bye. I could see them being ranked above the Big 12 champion. You probably could too. As a 1-loss team, they're only lost the number 1 school in the country. Okay. Well, then what if it's Army? What if it's Washington State, who is either undefeated or at 1 loss, and the Big 12 champion is 10-3? And the Big 12 runner-up is 10-3. And then we start piecing it together and we say, hey, wait a second. What about those 2-loss SEC teams? What about Notre Dame? What about those 2-loss Big 10 teams? Could we get a 3-loss Big 12 team over 2-loss Indiana? Probably not. Probably shouldn't. We wouldn't like it the other way around, right? Would we get a 3-loss Big 12 team over a Penn State, over a Tennessee, over Notre Dame, over Miami, over Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss? No. What if SMU has 1 loss at the end of this and Miami has 2 losses? Would a 3-loss Big 12 team get in over one of those schools? Probably not. What if Texas A&M is 9-3 and a Big 12 team is 10-3? Well, I would certainly allow that 10-3 Big 12 team in, but guess what? I'm not on the committee. And at that point, the committee is going to look at Texas A&M and go, oh, wait a second. Look at those 3 letters. It says SEC. Let them in. That is the dangerous truth of what the Big 12 is facing with the way the college football playoff is structured. We don't technically have to make it. Based on the college football playoff bylaws, as the way that Brock Osweiler, the prophet of college football, described it, we don't have to go. And that would be catastrophic, by the way. This 12-team format, us not getting in, would be catastrophic. I don't know, honestly, from a standpoint of, we just signed this TNT deal too, which is going to be awesome. But I'm not really sure. Like it says, the 12 participating teams will be the 5 conference champions ranked highest by the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. That doesn't say the Big 12. It doesn't say Power 5. It doesn't say that you're safe. If that happens, if BYU, Colorado, Iowa State, Kansas State, Arizona State, anybody is bumped. Especially if one of these random 4-loss teams, a Baylor, who is mathematically still in it, wins this conference, we are so doomed. On the flip side, there is a way. There is a way. BYU at 11-2. Colorado at 11-2, conference champions of the Big 12. They are in. No doubt, 11-2, Big 12 champion, you're in. BYU having lost the conference championship game, and I'm going to explain this more in depth later. The committee has said they won't penalize for the results of the conference title. Do I believe them? No. But if that's true, and BYU is technically 11-1 because you're not being penalized for the conference title game, which there was a scenario in which there were Big 12 teams that could go 11-1 and still miss the Big 12 title game and make it in as an at-large. If that becomes the case, yes, my friends, 11-2 BYU, 11-2 Colorado could both find their way in. It's going to take a little bit of help from our friends in the SEC cannibalizing each other, which they're kind of doing right now. But there's a world, there's a way where we find two Big 12 teams, number 11 seed BYU and number 7 seed Colorado in the big dance, baby. Hopefully they wouldn't make the two teams play round one. I can only imagine one of them will play Indiana. Like they're going to try to take away some of the smaller teams. They'll call them the smaller teams. But that's the Big 12 playoff outlook. And it's kind of crazy. There's a not too wild scenario in which we miss the entire dance. Oh, that would be bad. Coming up, BYU fans, me and you, we've got to talk on Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is the place that I go to say, hey, Texas Tech's only favored by 3.5 this week, playing Oklahoma State, who is not very good at football. I'm going to put a lot of money on that. Get ready to tackle the NFL or college football with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $5. Get $150 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need all in one place, including, that's right, live betting. See the latest stats, see play-by-play, and go make the picks you want to make in-game. Visit FanDuel.com to join today. New users, $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That is FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel. It's an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. That is FanDuel.com. Visit FanDuel and do it today. Today's show is also brought to you by Game Time. Game Time? My favorite ticketing app. Why? It has a seat view, which is cool. Has the lowest price guarantee, which is cool. It has Game Time ticket coverage, the most flexible in the entire ticketing industry. But my favorite part is the all-in pricing. No more hidden fees at the end. You toggle the all-in pricing, and it shows you the total up front. No surprise fees at checkout. That is the beauty of Game Time. They even have curated deals, like their super deal every week. See the seat, get the lowest price guaranteed, download the Game Time app to take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time picks. Use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Save money. Buy those tickets you've always wanted at Game Time.